Hey guys, you're watching the one and only. My name is AJ. Today, I've got another time lapse for you. The rare but humble Jungle Temple. Now, when I'm playing survival, I never seem to find these things, no matter how hard I search. But when I do find them, I'm not all that impressed. We need to change that. Building in the jungle is a real pain. I totally underestimated how long it would take to just clear a way for me, taking down those trees. The jungle trees are 4 times thicker than a normal tree, and they're 3 or 4 times taller. They take forever to get rid of, and the ground, I couldn't believe how much shrubbery there is on the ground in this biome. It's so many leaves, but there's so many logs in the ground as well that to get rid of the leaves you need to find all the logs. Otherwise they just stay. In the end I gave up and thought I'll just build the temple on a platform above the shrubbery. It gives it a little bit more elevation, sticks it up in the sky a little bit more, which is nice as well. But it got over the hurdle of trying to get rid of and level out an area to be able to build in. So the first thing that I built was the gateway, and I treated it as a mini build before starting the main one. I could work out what blocks complemented other ones and which stone ones I wanted to use for the project itself. There's a lot of stone blocks in Minecraft, but not all of them go together nicely. So it was a nice way to sort of choose and perfect the color palette before starting the main project. Unintentionally, I've done this throughout the whole video, but I sort of built each part as it would have been when it was first created, so when the stones were untouched and it looks all clean and new. And then after I'd done sort of each section, I added these big drooping vines that sort of laid over it, and the little vanilla Minecraft vines growing down beside them. I added a load of mossy brick and mossy cobblestone into their corresponding areas, and cracked bricks as well. Cracked bricks sort of near windows and where weak points could start to form after a long time. So the facade of the temple is now done, the front of it. I now need to sort of work out how I'm going to tie the 3 parts together. I'm starting to think about the interior at this point. I've got 3 doors on the front and what's probably going to be 3 doors on the back. How am I going to link them all together? I don't know, I'll work it out. The project is big enough already. Let me just get this back sorted out and tie it all together nicely, and we'll be good. Just joking. We're gonna go bigger. It's gonna get bigger. So working on a courtyard area at the back, a private space for whoever's allowed in the temple to go and pray or relax or do rituals, I don't know. But I wanted something overgrown, I wanted an overgrown feeling, but I didn't want a dilapidated feeling. I didn't want the walls to have fallen down or anything to have shifted and fallen off and broken on the floor. I wanted nature's taking it back, but it hasn't quite got it yet. You know, we're nearing the point where I can see these big boulders on top of the temple about to fall apart. You know what I mean? It's at that breaking point. I hope I'm not the only one that gets this vibe, but while building this, all I could think about was Tomb Raider, Lara Croft. This would be somewhere where a forgotten relic had been lost, and she's the first person to come here in hundreds of years maybe, and there's these big stone statues watching as she walks through the courtyard up to this back area where we're building, where I don't know, something's in there, and she picks it up and these gargoyles start coming to life, and she uses those iconic pistols to shoot her way out. I think in the end it ends up looking like a sort of old PS2 era Lara Croft level in a way. I could sort of navigate around when walking through off camera. I could sort of imagine there being pushable crates and all of these spiders and scorpions maybe, I don't know, on the floor. At this point, the build really started to come together. These huge draping vines wrapping themselves around the main part of the temple really gives it that epic feeling. It takes forever though to add the details to this temple. The mossy stone and the mossy cobblestone and the vines and the cracked bricks and all these little details took absolutely forever. In fact, the footage that you're watching right now is sped up 80 times the original speed that I built it at. I had to cut it down this much, speed it up this much, because it took so long. I didn't want us to all get bored watching me place the sort of same blocks over and over again. But you've got to be strategical about it. You've got to go across each layer. Think about where the water is going to get in, what parts are going to be wetter than others. If it's underneath shelter, it's probably not going to be as mossy, it's not as wet there, but if it's exposed to the elements, if it's on the top, water's going to sit in there, it's going to get in the stone and start breeding all that moss and growing it from there. So between the temple and the gateway is a bit of no man's land currently, and I wanted to have an easy way into the temple. So I decided to add what would have been a beautiful garden back in the day. It's taken over now, there's trees starting to sprout up, but you can still see the remnants of the walls and the hedges that once was. Poking my head inside the temple for the first time was a little bit nerve-wracking. I had no idea how the layout was going to go. We've got 6 ways into this area, and they're all at different heights, which means the layout has to have so much elevation changes in what is really quite a small area. that I didn't want it to look like a jumbled mess. I wanted to have a clear, clean way to get to the sort of 3 areas. I used the same decoration as I have on the outside, so again with the mossy stone, the cobblestone, the cracked stone, but I also added the cobwebs on the inside. They don't make sense on the outside where it's all wet, but where it's sheltered, I could imagine the wildlife coming in to seek refuge. I've also added some torches here so we could see. I know it doesn't really make sense, the torches would have gone out long before now, but even when you're watching films and stuff, all the torches in these caves seem to be lit, so it just makes sense now to have permanently lit torches. So let's think back to the purpose of why I built this temple. How cool would it be to stumble across this on a newly generated world? Let's find out. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. In the description below is a world download link if you want to check it out for yourself and have a wander around. Also in the description, I've linked Optifine, the shader pack that I used, and the texture pack that I used if you wanted to completely replicate what you saw today. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye!